Sometime in the first modern world, a record was made. There was a cult of sisterhood who arose to deal with cheating husbands in the whole world. No one knew who they were. No one could tell if they were humans or spirits. No one knew how they operate. Once any man slept with any other person other than the wife, he had brought their wrath upon himself. The man gets invited by the person he cheated with later, and he would surely follow to the unknown location. He would be punished with excess excitement. One unknown lady will be given to him to satisfy, but she never gets satisfied. They would force a substance into him to keep him erected until the victim passes out. When the man passes out and surely died, they used some animal figures to drag the body to the public at unknown time for recognition and his burial. This was happening all over the world to every man that cheated on the wife that period. Most times, when some men go out in group and decide to have fun separately with other women other than their wife, they ended up being found as corpses. It was a big mystery in the world and a common plague in the world that no one could tell. A lot of men, both poor, rich, politicians, pastors, were being found as corpses on the road without explanation of what happened. Earlier the plague, in a very small and unpopular place, a pastor announced and warned his congregation, especially the men, to be very careful and keep their manhoods alone for their wives against the coming terror on the world. He said he saw in a trance where corpses of men were scattered in public places in the world, and the strange spirits that have been given powers to visit the earth to carry the work. There was no record of the prophecy that day, but fortunately, a social media personality who came for a tour in the state attended the church that day. When the prophecy was happening and everything was getting people afraid and worried, she decided to go meet the pastor again. When she arrived the church premises, she was directed to the pastor's house. When she arrived the house address, she was informed the pastor was rushed to the hospital. She was directed to the hospital. When she reached the hospital, the doctor was on him, while there were prayer warriors around as well with his wife. The pastor was a victim of the mystery, but he luckily survived, maybe to tell the story. Some minutes after the doctor had attended to him, he sneezed and there was a big shout of praise. When he woke up, the doctor instructed he is left to rest. Everyone was eager to know what happened because his body was found on the public road like other corpses. Since he woke up, his words were, "God forgive me and please forgive me, my wife," in his native tongue. No one asked him immediately what he meant due to the doctor's instruction. While they were there, the social media personality asked the wife for permission to roll in camera and she agreed. Very later that day, he became a bit conscious and told his experience. He started off with it was his first time of cheating on his wife, which he blamed the devil. According to the pastor, after a midweek service, he decided to stay back and pray when everyone had left. But it seemed he was to be tested that day, or it was just his destiny. A very sweet lady approached him for a deliverance, according to him, but he turned out to be needing deliverance. He got down with her. Later that day, when he was home, the same lady invited him to an unknown location, but he was no longer himself. That said time, a young lady who worked in a bar and also a member of the church saw the pastor pass by their bar talking to himself. She told the mother about it, but the mother didn't believe her until the pastor told that side of the story of walking and talking with the lady to the location.